You walk in every morning, hand over $6 for a latte, look at the endless line of customers, and think the person who owns this specific shop must be printing money. But if you live in the United States, the UK, or Canada, you cannot actually write a check or submit an application to become an independent owner. In its wealthiest global markets, the corporation does not sell franchises. To understand why, we have to look at what you are actually buying. This diagram breaks down the physical cost of a standard 16-ounce flavored latte. The actual coffee beans cost roughly 25 cents. Add 21 cents for milk, 23 cents for flavoring syrup, and 20 cents for the cup, lid, and sleeve. The raw physical materials inside your drink total just 89 cents. Looking at this expanded view, we see that the physical product accounts for less than 15% of your purchase. You are left with $5.11. Since the customer is barely paying for the coffee, and none of that margin is going to an independent local franchisee, that remaining $5.11 is funding an entirely different corporate machine. That extra margin pays for physical infrastructure. About $1.70 covers barista labor and benefits. Another $1.20 pays for premium commercial rent. The rest is eaten by utilities to run espresso machines and equipment depreciation. After overhead, a store keeps just $1.50 per cup, requiring 847 daily transactions to break even. But at that volume, the math scales. A new location costs $450,000 to build and generates $444,000 in annual profit, recouping construction costs in 2 years. That rapid return on invested capital explains exactly why the company refuses to share profits with independent franchisees. Corporate ownership is a strict financial mandate. By operating the stores directly, the company captures 100% of these unit-level returns for itself. Hitting those volume metrics requires engineering the perfect flow of foot traffic. Real estate selection is treated as a rigid mathematical formula. In suburban markets, drive-through stores are deliberately placed on the morning commute side of major roads. If a customer has to make a U-turn or cross opposing traffic on their way to work, that slight friction loses sales. In dense urban centers, the company will sometimes open 2 stores within a few hundred feet of each other. Rather than cannibalizing sales, each location captures a distinct flow of foot traffic coming from different subway exits or office building lobbies. The locations are calculated to be the path of absolute least resistance, removing the decision-making process entirely when people most want coffee. Beyond the physical real estate, the company's most profitable asset is entirely digital. The corporate rewards app functions as an unlicensed, multi-billion-dollar financial product. When you load $50 onto your digital card, it becomes a stored value card liability, meaning the company holds your cash until you spend it. Customers have parked $1.87 billion in these accounts, providing a massive interest-free loan. Millions of dollars of those preloaded funds are simply forgotten. When the statistical likelihood of a customer spending their remaining balance drops low enough, the company recognizes it as breakage revenue. In 2024, they claimed tens of millions in pure profit from unspent gift cards, requiring 0 ingredients or labor. The app slashes operational expenses. Every time a credit card is swiped, payment processors charge a fee. By convincing customers to preload $25, the company collapses 5 swipes into a single transaction, saving tens of millions in fees annually. This digital ecosystem successfully converts casual customer loyalty into a multi-billion-dollar financial float, completely detached from the sale of physical coffee. Because this entire economic model requires perfect daily transaction volumes to outpace massive fixed costs, it is highly vulnerable to external disruptions. The system relies on millions of pounds of cheap Arabica beans. When drought or frost hits Brazil, which produces roughly a third of the world's supply, the physical crop is immediately threatened. A physical shortage violently spikes the price of Arabica futures contracts on the Intercontinental Exchange. Since the company recently reduced its fixed-price purchasing contracts, these elevated commodity prices hit their profit margins directly. Operating margins are also pressured from inside the store. Wages and benefits already consume nearly 46% of total net revenue, and an ongoing nationwide unionization effort is actively pushing for higher starting pay and mandatory staffing minimums. The perfectly consistent latte you buy every morning masks a highly fragile balancing act of global commodity logistics and intense labor negotiations. If the physical ingredients cost less than $1 and the operational model is constantly pressured by global markets, what are millions of people actually paying $6 for? They are paying for a habit. The company sells the psychological comfort of a reliable, perfectly predictable routine in the middle of a chaotic morning. By systematically removing every point of friction from the daily commute, they engineered an emotional architecture around a basic commodity, building a financial empire out of a simple daily routine.